Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a new video. So in this one then, we're going to be looking at some existing Facebook ads and just breaking down the kind of things that go into essentially a successful Facebook ad. Now, before we jump into it though, I just want to quickly mention I am giving away a free one-to-one consultation with me in this video. If you want to enter the draw, then all you have to do is simply like the video and leave a comment down below. And if you commented on my previous video, then just make sure you stay tuned to the end of this one where the winner will be announced. And with that being said then, let's jump straight into it. So it's kind of what I want to do then, the whole idea of this video is to kind of change your way of thinking when it comes to designing and producing your Facebook ads, because I think a lot of people approach it in the wrong direction, and unless you get kind of like the fundamentals and your base correct, then you're setting yourself up to fail. When you build a house, the foundations have to be perfect, otherwise the house is going to fall over at some point. And I kind of want to use that as a metaphor because it kind of applies to when it comes to Facebook ads. So we're going to go right back to the beginning then, and we have to establish essentially what our goal is. So starting from the beginning then, our goal is obviously to make money with Facebook ads, and the way we do that then is by people actually buying our product. So the question we have to ask ourselves then is, how do we get people to buy our product? And the only way to do that then is to show our ad to people. So essentially our goal with our Facebook ad is to show our product to as many people as possible, because if a huge amount of people see the product, as long as it's a quality audience as well, then of course people will always buy it. So when it comes to designing your ads, then you have to look at it in two ways. Number one, your ad has to create a want for your product so people do actually buy it. If there's no want for it, then obviously people aren't going to buy it. It doesn't matter how many people show it for you, how many people you show it to, you still have to create that want or that need within your customer. And then the second thing, you have to make people want to share your product as well. As the costs of Facebook ads go up, then your CPMs are also going to go up, which means you're going to get less bang for your buck. Less people today are going to see your product than they will have a year ago. So what you have to do is you have to take advantage of social media and create an ad that people want to engage with and share, because every time somebody engages and shares, it's going to look good to Facebook. Facebook are going to lower your CPMs because ultimately they want to create a good experience for their users, and you're going to reach more people, which is the second then key ingredient to a successful ad, because the more people you can reach and the more of a want and need you create within your audience, then it's just going to increase your chances. So to kind of break that down then, it says here, the message is not "this is my product." So when you create your ad, the message that you put across, you don't just want to be saying "this is my product" and talking about yourself. So this is my product, this is what it does. What you want to do is, you don't even necessarily have to tell people to buy it. You can just say, this is what it can do, and actually demonstrate what it does to people, because that is the number one thing then that's going to resonate with your audience. So I've got some ads which we're going to go through in a second, but if you can actually demonstrate the product and show them what it can do for them, as long as it's relevant to the audience as well, so you've got good targeting, then it's going to accomplish those two things. It's going to make people want to buy it because it does something for them that's relevant for them, whether that's solve a problem, make them look fashionable, whatever it is. And that's actually the easiest thing to do. The hardest thing to do then is to create an ad that people want to share. And in my opinion, this is the most important thing, because if you can get people to share your ad for free, then it's not going to cost you any money to essentially gain those extra impressions. The average Facebook user, you can Google this, has 200 to 300 friends. Every time they share it, that's potentially how many people you're going to reach for free. And if you base, there is no such thing as an average CPM, but if you say it's about £20 or $20 CPM, if you can get 10 people to share it, then you're going to reach 2,000 to 3,000 people, which is going to save you anywhere between kind of like $40 to $60. So that really is the power then of creating an ad that has viral capabilities that people essentially want to engage with and share with their friends. And then the keys to a successful ad then. So there's the emotional aspect. This strikes an emotion within the viewer. So when they see your ad, they feel some kind of emotion, and this is what leads people on to essentially want to share it with their friends. When people feel something that either like gives them joy or something, people will always tag their friends in it. If you think about any viral post, then it's usually something that has an emotion on the viewer. So that could be joy or shock, or it could literally be anything. And this leads them to share it then, obviously, and then that leads to viral potential. That should always be your goal. If you can get your ad to go viral, then you can switch off all your ads, and simply by people sharing it, like a domino effect, will be enough to just push it around the internet without having to pay for it. And number two then, which is the easiest thing to do, is to create a need and actually solve a problem. And this leads your viewer to actually buy the product. So this is what will convince your customer to buy it But then the second thing, in my opinion, the most important thing is the emotional aspect, which leads people to share it. Because the more you can increase your reach, the more people are going to see your ad, and obviously the more chance you have of making even more sales. But going back to the need aspect, then it solves the problem. This leads the viewer to actually buy it, and to do that, then you actually have to demonstrate your product. So you have to demonstrate it in a way that strikes an emotion within your customer, and that is the key, as it says here, to combine these two triggers. They are the two main ingredients into a successful ad. If you think about any kind of car ad or trainer ad, then it's not just a slideshow or a camera going around the car or a trainer. It's usually somebody running around and tracking them, showing like essentially what they can do, and it's usually cars driving on the road or cars parking themselves, because there's no better way to create a need than actually show somebody what the products can do for them. So anyway, all that being said, enough talking is done. Let's actually have a look at some examples. So the first thing I want to show you is, because everybody should do this who's running Facebook ads, is that go around on your Facebook page, create a new profile if you want to, and just go around liking all these different e-commerce websites, all these different dropshipping businesses, because what you'll find is that your newsfeed then becomes packed full of products like this. So this is people dropshipping, and this was a product actually that featured in one of my product idea videos. And if you if you see one that you like that has really good engagement, etc., click on these three dots and just click save video. It will save it to your collections, and then that way, if you ever need some inspiration or you want to compare some ads, then it will put it in this list here. So I'll just open this link to show you. And as you can see, I've got all these different ads that I can then look back for inspiration and just for comparison reasons. So just to take this ad as an example then, because I think it's a really good ad. It's got a decent amount of engagement, nothing really that crazy at the moment, but you can see clearly then, especially that image there, in fact, if we can rewind it, it creates a need for the product by demonstrating it. It shows exactly what it does. So they've got a dog that's laid in the shade because it's warm, it's sunny, and it solves a problem. So it creates a need for the products that makes people want to actually buy it, which is a good thing, because that's the key ingredient number one. It makes people want to buy it, therefore people are going to buy it. But the second thing, the most important thing then, in my opinion, is to actually get people want to share it, because they can increase their reach, which will lower their CPMs. And when it comes to Facebook ads getting more and more expensive, they're only going to continue to do so unless you can get some help by creating that emotion within your audience for people to share it, then that's ultimately what's going to lead to long-term success, in my opinion. And I think they do a pretty good job with it. The fact they've got loads of different dogs, when people see dogs, then it does just create that. It's been proven, in fact, that just by stroking a dog releases endorphins in your mind and actually makes you feel better and less stressed, which is actually why the pet niches are some of the best niches when it comes to e-commerce, because they're so easy to advertise. Everybody who sees a dog being stupid, it just makes them smile. And regardless of whether they're interested in the product, if a animal is doing something stupid, then they want to share it with their friends. If you think about some of the most popular videos ever to hit the internet, going back now, like Keyboard Cat or whatever it was called, the reason that got so popular is because it's a cat playing the keyboard, and it had that emotion. It made people laugh, which meant people wanted to share it with their friends, because people want to make their friends laugh as well. With all that being said, then hopefully kind of coming around to the way I'm thinking, let's have a look at a couple more. The Dusty Doom, that's quite a popular one. The one I wanted to show you then were the indestructible shoes. So it's these ones here. Now the reason this one is so good, in my opinion, is because it creates a need for them, because it shows exactly what they do and what they can do for someone. But they also play on that emotional aspect too. Like, people watching this would be in shock, and shock is a really strong emotion. If you Google the strongest emotions someone can feel, then shock is one of them. People can die from shock. That's how much of a powerful emotion it actually is. And all the things that demonstrating the shoes do, so it's kind of combining the two ingredients, is quite shocking. Like, they'll protect your toes from heavy things, they're anti-slip, you can like stamp on nails and it's not going to penetrate them, which is like a shocking thing. So ads like this that combine those two key aspects are always going to do well, in my opinion. So let's have a look at one more thing then. That's nothing really that interesting about this. Now this is a really good ad, purely because it solves a really kind of important problem, or a really difficult problem that people genuinely have. The only thing I would say it was lacking was that emotional aspect. I guess there's kind of like that sense of shock that it works so well and it can make moving furniture, etc., so easy. However, whenever it comes to furniture, I don't think furniture is a very passionable niche, and therefore in terms of getting that organic reach and the viral capabilities, and I think they're going to struggle. I don't want you to think then and come away from this video thinking unless I make someone laugh, then I'm not going to do very well with Facebook ads, because that's not the case. You can do very well as long as you create that need for people to buy your product, then you can do well. But what I'm saying is that if you want to maximize and take advantage of the fact that we're advertising on a social media platform, then by encompassing that second key ingredient, which is making people feel some sort of emotion with your ad, then I think you're going to get even better results. So they're kind of like the takeaways from the video then. Number one, make sure you create a need and a want for your product, because unless there is that need or want for it, people aren't going to buy it. And number two then, if you can, try and strike some sort of emotion within your customer, whether it's shock or enjoyment, whatever it is, because that's what's going to lead them to engaging with it and sharing it. And the more you can get people to do that, the more people you're going to reach, and then the more chance you have of making even more sales. And with that being said then guys, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you're still watching, then thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, all I ask then is that you simply leave a like. And if you want to be entered into the raffle then for a chance to win the call with me, all you have to do is simply leave a comment down below as well. And with that being said then, let's get into announcing the winner of the previous video. Who are then guys on the previous video? If you haven't checked this one out yet, make sure you go and watch it. People seem to be enjoying it. We look at 3 dropshipping stores, so they are actually dropshipping themselves, and each have done over 7 figures, and we just look at the kind of things we can learn from them. So what Facebook ads they're running, what products they're selling, what their stores look like, etc. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go check it out.